prepared now at Brennan Theaters watching Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. I'm gonna be the first to say it, did not like this movie. There were some good things, but there were a lot of bad things. Going into pirate movies, I don't have to worry about the look. Everything's gonna look super legitimate, everything's gonna look grungy and disgusting and awesome. The boats and the pirates and the British and everything is gonna be amazing. The islands, the tropical setting, everything will look fantastic. That's not the problem. The dialogue, the script, so-so. The acting, it's a typical pirate movie. This movie was just boring. I was sitting in this auditorium rolling my eyes most of the time. I feel Johnny Depp might have phoned this one in. I didn't get that same, Jack Sparrow kind of thing. Granted, there was a part in the movie where it was, they had the theme going and they had like a few returning pirates come back. Like, okay, now this is kind of what I wanted from a movie. But then it just kind of goes in this other direction. You're kind of like, now we're back to talking.
It's a movie that has some really interesting moments. The action, maybe not as heavy as it has been in some of the previous installments, but definitely still an enjoyable film. Some cool visual effects, nothing groundbreaking, but definitely things that are interesting to look at. The story, while having some of those slapstick kind of moments from the previous films, still manages to tie some things back to the old films and also create some new storylines that potentially could be taken advantage of for maybe future installments to the franchise.
One thing I was hoping when I went into this film is please let it be better than the fourth one. Please. And don't get me started on that. This one is an improvement. Not as good as the first three, but still, it's an improvement. Not perfect. Visual effects, nothing groundbreaking. Music, they brought back the Pirates theme and played it a little more frequently in this film than they did in the fourth one, which I appreciated. More of the humor did not fall flat this time, so the writers have made an improvement over the fourth one. Cinematography is great, costumes are great, Barbossa is back in full Barbossa form, instead of that ghostly white look he had in the fourth one, which was very, very terrible.
The bad guy though, the Hole of the Dead, that was cool. That was something new and exciting, it was different. I felt they could have done more with it. We'll just say there could have been more with Captain Salvatane, Spanish guy. The movie had sharks. About time we had some sharks with a pirate movie. I don't know, it's just, to me, it was like a complete rehash of everything we've already seen before and loved. I loved 1, 2, and 3. When I think Pirates, I think that trilogy story as an amazing masterpiece. It's almost like you have to watch it together. You get part 1, part 2, part 3. We got number 4. Hated number 4. Oh my god, dude. Awful pirate movie. It ruined so much mystery and amazingness. And then this movie didn't have the decency to address some of the things that they put in number 4. They left them completely unanswered. So I'm sitting here like, okay, I didn't get closure with this, or this, but now you're throwing me this, and this.
The humor, while kind of jumping between some more like innuendo, hidden kind of adult humor, and then some straightforward just slapstick moments. There's a scene early on where they're basically trying to escape from, basically the typical things that are holding them back in all movies, shackles, ropes, being hung by a hangman, that sort of a thing. And it has a lot of really big laugh out loud moments that seem to have landed really well with our showing. And then as far as the villain is concerned, Javier Bardem definitely brings the scare factor when it comes to the way that he speaks, and as far as the visual effects that they use to create his character, like how his hair kind of flows like it's like he's constantly in water even when he's not, and just the way that their group of undead, basically pirate hunters, turned out really cool to look at. Some people don't have missing limbs, have missing faces, and it almost creates kind of like that Invisible Man look.
This movie ties up a lot of loose ends to the plot. Some of the narrative story had a little bit of a focus issue. I felt they were going off a little bit, getting a little bit to an area that just didn't fit in with the rest of the movie. I felt this was a worthy sequel. This should have been the fourth movie. But it's a fifth one, what can you do? A lot of loose ends were tied up, loose ends that were created by the first, second, and third movies. Some questions about Jack Sparrow's background are answered. Small things, nothing major, but even Barbossa has some revelations. Won't go into details, but it's different. It's not something I really saw coming.
End credit scene, don't worry, there's one there. All of them had it, and this one has one too. All in all, there was some entertainment. I did find enjoyment with the theme, some returning characters, some classical swashbuckling, but at the same time it was just like a complete rehash of everything I've seen before. Could have been better. I felt maybe even Disney filmed this movie. Like, yeah, let's make another pirate movie. All in all, I'm gonna give the movie, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. I was bored through most of it. The things I did like, I felt should have been, it's kind of like, don't reinvent the wheel, just do the same thing over and over and over again, and now we've got ourselves something cool. There was a couple of new things I put in there, but I felt they could have done more with it as to what I got. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, it just, for me, should have stopped at 3. 1, 2, 3 would have been perfect.
Overall, the movie I felt was enjoyable. It did have some hammy dialogue and some cheese factor when it comes to some of the way that they showed the characters. I feel like it's probably one of the weaker performances by Johnny Depp as far as the ethos of Captain Jack, but it was still nice to see him in the movie. The score is back from the previous films, and it was really comforting, and it allows you to just jump right back into that universe. Overall, I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. Definitely something that I would see again. It's probably, while the original 3 movies are my favorite from this series, this is probably between those and 4, which I didn't really enjoy as much. But I would definitely watch it again. If you enjoy this series, definitely come in and see it in theaters. If you just enjoy live-action Disney films, another reason to come in to see it.
So out of 10, I'm going to give this a 7.5. Not as good as the first 3 movies. Those are, as Jeff has put it, a masterpiece. I'm not disappointed they didn't end it at 3. I'm a fan of the Pirates films, so if they can bring on more, but make them good. And once you have Johnny Depp out, the franchise has to end. Do not continue without him.
Question for you this week. What is your favorite pirate movie? Throw that down there, whatever it may be. There are a lot of pirate movies, both animated, non-animated, live action. Throw it down there, curious to know. Go on ahead and like this video and favorite it. Subscribe to this channel. By doing that, you get more reviews like this, plus throwback reviews, other shenanigans we do on the daily and weekly. And remember guys, you heard it here at The Source.